Welcome back. The Invisible Man has brought in $53 million at the domestic box office. Matt Perrin shares his thoughts on the film in your Monday Movie Musings.
Welcome to another Monday. I wasn't particularly interested in any of the movies coming out this week, with Onward being the shoe-in to take the box office. I felt that The Way Back was going to be pretty predictable, and I just wasn't in the proper mood to see Emma. Luckily, I was on vacation last week, and we had a Universal monster movie actually do well with both critics and audiences alike. So I decided to jump on that bandwagon and see how it succeeded where Tom Cruise managed to fail. So without any further ado, here's my take on The Invisible Man. Our story begins with an escape. Cecilia, played by Elizabeth Moss, is trying to get away from her controlling and abusive husband, Adrian. One night, after drugging him, she manages to quietly tiptoe around, gathering things, and makes her way outside during a very tense but otherwise incident-free scene. In a last-minute guilty action, she tries to free the family dog and manages to set off a car alarm, rousing Adrian. She flees the property and manages to make it to a car driven by her sister and just barely escapes her pursuing Adrian. Cut to 2 weeks later, and Cecilia is living in the house of her friend James and his teenage daughter. He is a cop who has given her shelter but is trying to help her become less recluse. Soon she receives word that Adrian has killed himself and finds out that she has been left a large sum of money under the terms that she not go crazy or commit a crime. Everything suddenly seems great until strange occurrences start to surround Cecilia. We see things being out of place, weird kitchen accidents, and we as the audience are able to see things that elude her sight. Before long, Cecilia comes to the conclusion that Adrian isn't really dead. As the movie progresses, we see a woman on the verge of a psychological break. She knows that something's wrong, but no one else believes her. As we see her unraveling, we see the pranks step up to the level of lethal, and we as the audience are on the edge of our seats, not only waiting to see how far this will go, but also if our heroine can get one step ahead of someone with no footsteps. So, what to say about this one? After Tom Cruise's The Mummy broke Universal's Dark Universe franchise, I was skeptical about any more of these classic monster movies coming out. But this one found the right formula. Apparently the trick is to get Blumhouse in on the action and cut $100+ million out of the budget. This movie is the standout horror of the year so far. It manages to build tension throughout like a good horror thriller should, without the use of cheap jump scares. I can only think of one main one in this movie, but it is done brilliantly and is so much more than a cheap scare. Elizabeth Moss really brought it in this performance, and you finally get to see her range. You can almost feel yourself losing your sanity right alongside her and can feel her desperation throughout the movie. The film definitely resonates with issues surrounding today's society, but these themes fall perfectly in line with the premise of the film. I absolutely love it when I go into a movie expecting it to be okay, and walk out being able to truthfully say, I really enjoyed that. This is what a thriller/horror movie should be. There are shots when the camera pans to scenes of nothing, which causes our anxiety to spike, wondering what's actually there. It just goes to show what can be done using only a camera and a soundtrack. These moments will get your heart thumping harder than any CGI creature. So, if you're in the mood for some great white-knuckle fun, definitely check this one out. This has been your Monday Movie Musing. Back to you.
Well, stick with us. Tyler has one last look at your forecast when the news at noon continues.